The Timmy Chang Show is brought to you by Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union, HGEA, Spectrum, HCAMP, Enjoy Snacks, Fujitsu, IBEW Local 1186, Hawaii Dental Service, Ruby Tuesday, Hawaii Pacific Health, Popeyes, Castle Resorts and Hotels, and Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union.
Welcome to the Timmy Chang Show, 6th edition of the 2024 season. I'm John Veneri alongside the coach, Timmy Chang. And let me be the first to say, well, I'm probably not the first, but congratulations.
Thank you.
It's always nice to be able to come home with a win, isn't it?
Yeah, especially in a place like Fresno.
Yeah.
And a tough environment and a good football team. Historically, really good program.
We're going to dive into all of that. The Rainbow Warrior football team returns home with the win over Fresno State this past weekend, improving to 4-5 overall, 2-2 in the Mountain West Conference. For a full recap, we turn over to KH1-2 Sports Director Rob DeMello. Here he is.
How's it going, everybody? The ink has dried and it's been authenticated as the signature victory in the Timmy Chang era, as the University of Hawaii football team returned from the Valley with an unforgettable win on Saturday night over Fresno State. The Rainbow Warriors were double-digit dogs against the Bulldogs and trailed by 13 in the fourth quarter, but with the defense leading the charge, the Green H and Tapa Trim triumphed. Warrior Wrecking Crew allowed less than 200 total yards in the game, recording 10 tackles for loss, allowing the UH offense to take 37 more snaps than Fresno, which ultimately turned into 2 touchdown connections between Braden Shager and Nick Senecal in the final 9 minutes. The game winner with just 15 seconds remaining, as the Bows beat their bitter rival in their own doghouse. 21-20, the memorable numbers, as Hawaii wins their second straight game, moving to 2-2 in the Mountain West.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I think that, God does amazing things working through this team, and it was, unbelievable. We all saw tonight. We all had faith that entire game, and it was amazing to get the win. And we're a good football team, contrary to our record, and we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep winning, and our goal, after losing to Washington State, was win 5 in a row. We got 2 down. We got to just take it one game at a time. We got 3 more games. We got UNLV at home, and, it's on to the next one after 24 hours.
Yeah, and that's what we're chasing. We could win out, and we got a tough one at home for sure with UNLV and all that, but we stick to what we got, execute, and do what these coaches tell us to do, and fundamentals and technique, and we'll see what happens, man.
Team effort. We all came out and did our 1 of 11. Every man on the field did their job, and we pulled out on top.
Some movement on the offensive line, but Keene's going to get in trouble in the backfield. Keene goes down. It's a sack. Elijah Robinson.
I need to be there, and I felt that was, just running around, getting to the ball as fast as I can, getting after the quarterback, and made that happen.
Now, one of the big moments in the game was Cam Stone's blocked extra point in the first half. That proved to be the difference. Again, Bows are now 2-2 in the Mountain West, and up next, it's another rival, UNLV, Saturday night at the Ching Complex in a nationally televised showdown. And as always, game week started with Hawaii football final. That's every Monday morning at KHON2.com or anywhere you download podcasts. Reporting from the Timmy Chang Show, I'm Rob DeMello, KHON2 Sports.
What a comeback win, down 20-7, only to storm back. Let's pinpoint a couple of things, though, Coach, and we're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff in this show. Cam Stone is here. Nalu Emerson is here. We're going to talk to those guys in just a bit. We'll also get you ready for UNLV. But first, before we put this to bed, let's talk a little bit more about Fresno real quick. That first drive, you guys go down the field. You do some amazing things, and I'll just set it up. Shager with a run. Salaveo with a catch, Senecal with a catch, Shager with another run, then a screen to Tylen Hines. Walk us through some of this.
Yeah, it was the guys were focused, and their mindset's been we talk about elite mindset, and going into a hostile environment and playing a good opponent on the road, that we had to be on our P's and Q's. And so the offense, started to gel, especially on that first down early series. And it looked good as we got into the end zone 7-0.
Okay, now that it continued to look good as Shager. Like, you wanted him to run a little bit more. We talked about prior to that, prior to the game, and he did what he needed to do.
Yeah, he's going to have to help us win games. That's part of the quarterback position. So whether he's throwing the ball, handing the ball off, or using his legs to move the ball, all is a goal. And you heard him. You heard what he said, man. It's on to the next, and we have a big one coming up.
One thing you always talk about as a coach is finishing a drive, finishing a play, finishing a quarter, finishing the game. Well, that drive led to you finishing the drive with a touchdown. It was a 5-yard pass to Pafele Ashlock for the score. We'll take a look at that. Another successful first series score for your offense.
Yeah, it's good to get up on the board first. We lost the toss. They deferred, and so kickoff to us. So, we don't get the ball first in the second half. So you want to go and make all those possessions count in the first half.
And looked really, really good. We'll talk about some of what happened a little later on in the game, how it slowed down a bit for you. That's going to come up in the next segment. We'll invite my brother on, my broadcast partner. If you've got any questions for the coach, you can go ahead and text us or call in 808-296-1420. And you can also check out the TV broadcast of this show at 6 o'clock on Thursday on K-High and 10:35 p.m. on Friday on KHON2. Just real quick, Coach, you have not traveled well, but it must feel so good to be able to win in a hostile place.
Yeah, those games go back a lot further. And so, we kind of showed the guys the history of that game, earlier in the week on the previous years, 2002, 2006, all the way up to 2020, and having those wins on the road, staple wins that, Mountain West opponent, hostile environment, really, really fun environment. It's what college football is all about. Their tailgating atmosphere, the fans being in that valley, everything's red, and it's a good place to play and showcase what your team can do.
The fans, the beer being thrown on you. No screwdrivers on this trip, by the way.
Yeah, I have never seen it. I can't say that I've seen it, but I've heard.
Yeah,
yep.
It's no longer legend. It's actually fact, according to Coach Chris Brown. It's an actual fact, and he had to play bodyguard with Coach June Jones as they walked up. I hated that place. They used to slick up the walkway for us with beer and all that kind of good stuff. But at least you come back with a win, and you send them out of the conference with a nice little downer. But we're going to talk about so much here coming up. Next, my broadcast partner and real-life brother joins us. This is the Timmy Chang Show.
This is the Timmy Chang Show, presented by ESPN Honolulu, KI, and KHON2.
Welcome back to the Timmy Chang Show. Joining the coach and I now is my broadcast partner and a guy who knows the X's and O's. This is Mark Veneri.
I learned from all these guys, though.
Yeah, not from me, you didn't. Maybe from him.
More so him. I pick his brain a lot.
Yeah.
He was calling me. He liked one of the.
I did.
He liked one of the plays that we ran, and so he was. We got to go talk about it.
Oh, yeah, we can't talk about it on here, but I definitely.
No giving away anything.
One of them.
Let's real quick talk about that first drive once again. 14 plays, 75 yards, and took 7:48 off the clock. Talk about extended drive. You mix it up really well in this. We're talking more X and O's now, but you mix it up really good.
Yeah, I guess keeping them off balance is key. It's just finding ways to move the ball, and just kind of just getting the guys going. You know, getting the playmakers the ball. Shakes is doing a really good job. He's a savvy vet, man. I mean, and the O-line, you know, for the things that we're putting in and adding and doing, they're good for picking all the stuff up, and so it's been helpful.
We got some text messages coming in. We'll answer those here shortly. One in particular about UNLV, which we'll get to. But Mark's got a question about defense.
Yeah, the Bulldogs come back, coach, scoring 13 unanswered in the first half. What were they kind of doing differently that kind of threw a wrinkle into the game plan? You know,
I think that first drive we could have got off the first score we could have got off the field. It was we had a penalty on there. And really we could have stopped them from scoring. Their second score, we went for it. We had a fumble. We gave them a short field, and so those things hurt. And then on the third score, just we're going down a drive. A tip deflection by a linebacker ends up in the wrong guy's hands, and he's able to take it all the way. And so, I really thought the defense played lights out. And be honest with you, I expect that from them. They're a veteran group. There's a lot of leaders on that side of the ball. They're together. And when you talk about the brotherhood, you look at their defense. They're a bunch of brothers, man. They're a band of brothers that very selfless and guys that just go out there and play together and do their job. And they're really the staple of what our team is about.
By the way, Johnny, one thing, Timmy, I'm not sure if you know, with the game against Fresno State this past weekend, you guys moved to number 1 now in the Mountain West in total defense.
Yeah, and that's a credit to those guys. Coach Dennis has those guys going, and as well as that side of the ball and the coaching staff. But it really starts with the leadership in that room. You're gonna see guys like Nalu and Cam Stone here, but with Logan Taylor and Noah Kemma and Elijah Robinson, and then you got younger guys that are ready to step up and take that role, and like Elijah Palmer and Jemiah Otis. And so it's really fun to watch them and their growth, and again, this is our 3rd season together, and so from where we started to where we're at now, it's pretty cool.
Let's talk about that pick 6 real quick. You started on your own 11 and you drove all the way down the field, got it to the 25 of Fresno, the INT going 89 yards the other way. That put them up 20-7 in the third quarter. That really did hurt, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've been killing ourselves, in other games, and this was another one that it's a backbreaker. You're looking at 4 minutes on the clock, 3:58 in the third quarter, going down 2 scores, and we've been here before. We've been in a point where we're just killing ourselves, and so the thing that I loved about it is that the guys came off. Their mindset was still in go mode.
Yeah.
Okay. And really, we're just going to take one play at a time, one possession at a time, and just execute and go down the field. Some of those things that you heard those guys talk about earlier on the screen, and I love that because they're reiterating what's being taught in our rooms and to our staff, from our staff, and those guys are just talking about these things, and they're believing, and you're hearing them say it. But just go out there and execute. And so I love the way that from 13 down, late in the third, we really bounced back.
Tell me, it looked as though, offensively, you went away from some of the things that you were doing good Is that, am I seeing that correctly? Like you went away from some of the things that was going right for you guys.
Yeah, and it's about execution, right? Sometimes you make calls and you want these guys to get to where they need to get to and do what they need to do, so whether it's the call, whether it's the execution, it's all the same, right? It really doesn't matter. It's about going out there and doing it all at once. And so, when we look at the film and we watch and we dissect every single play and every single detail, the guys in the room and ourselves know that what we have to do to be better.
Now, Coach, the good thing is your defense really came through, forcing 7 straight punts. In fact, Hawaii's defense didn't allow the Bulldogs past the 50 for 6 straight drives in the second half. I was looking at Johnny, and I was telling him,
believe it.
And I was telling him, I was like, I don't think the defense allowed them past the 50-yard line.
I think the closest was the 48, and most of it was not even to the 40.
And going back to it, they did it.
Yeah, and really, that's another. I mean, when you talk about us being down by 6, and and then going down by 13, the thing that the other side of the ball, they didn't flinch, and they played stellar. They played lights out. They were getting after the quarterback. They were batting down balls and getting receivers. I mean, they were tackling running backs. They were taking down screens. I mean, it was an impressive effort by our defense against a good team on the road. And the guys, I mean, you just watch them. You watch them celebrate. You watch them out there just be together. I mean, it's fun to watch them, man.
You guys did so well that you were able to get the ball back and then punched it in with Nick Cynical. His first touchdown, wide open. He was wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, we had a call that it was able, the two guys. I think it was a bust by the nickel in that sequence, and both guys jumped one, and Nick's in the back over there in the back of the end zone.
Okay, and then in the final drive, it just worked really, really well. And we were going crazy in the booth. Tell me about the final drive. It started at the 47 of Fresno, 10 plays, 1 minute and 15 seconds, capped off with a 3-yard TD pass.
Yeah, it's one of those 2-minute situations, no timeouts, less than 2 minutes left, things you practice and you just want to excel at. But it was just kind of sequenced the way we needed it to be. There's a mixed run in there, but the guys got to their spots. They were able to get out of bounds, stop the clock. We were able to huddle. As we got closer, there's a couple incomplete passes in there, and then on third down, the guys make a big play. And so, it's just a really cool team effort, to be honest with you, and to watch these guys go on the road and do that, it's pretty damn good.
Here's the game-winning call.
Trips right, single receiver left, Sims to the right of Shager in the backfield. Shager dropping back, Shager looking right, Shager rolling right. Caught! Nick Cynical into the end zone! Touchdown, Hawaii! The double slants, Cynical on the arrow. Touchdown to the Hale!
I wanted you to hear it.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, the coach is next to us. Your coach is next to us. We're pounding the window. I thought it was going to break. We were all just jumping around, dancing in the.
Don't you wish in that instance we had the GoPro cam?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Crazy.
All right. Do we have time to show Homecoming? Do we have time for it? Nope. We'll show it a little bit later in the show then, because we would like to go back to that. Your 2 straight wins, but we'll go back to the Nevada game in just a minute, or a little bit later in the show. If you want to talk to Coach, we've got some texts. We're going to get to those here in just a moment, but you can go ahead and text or call 808-296-1420, and don't forget this show will be on TV on Thursday at 6 p.m. on K-High and then 10:35 on K-Chuan. Time now for a random question. What is your least favorite vegetable?
I don't know. I saw the question.
You saw it?
I saw it, but I can't even think of one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you don't like Brussels sprouts?
No,
cauliflower.
We eat it. Yeah.
If you could be any Marvel character, which one would you be?
Marvel. Oh, it's got to be Iron Man, right?
Right.
Yeah, Iron Man.
I suppose he's the coolest.
He is.
Sleek, most sleek.
Yeah.
All right. Iron Man and the rest of us will be back here in a minute. This is the Timmy Chang Show.
This is the Timmy Chang Show, presented by ESPN Honolulu, K-High, and KHON2.
Welcome back to the Timmy Chang Show. Joining us now is a local boy. Let's get the tail of the tape up for you. In his 6th year, senior linebacker, he's got 22 tackles on the year. 14 of those are solo, 1.5 tackles for a loss, and a sack against Nevada. He recorded his first ever interception. As a Rainbow Warrior, we welcome one of the North Shore's finest. That is Mr. Nalu Emerson. Nalu, glad to have you with us here today.
Appreciate it.
All right, I got to ask you this because sometimes as players, former players, we like to think about the interception maybe we didn't have against Nevada. But I want to talk about, if you can talk about the near interception early on against Nevada and walk us through that.
Just the interception. I just remember them running that play actually on the first play of the game. And I put my hands up and I missed the ball. And I told myself, they're probably going to come back to that. And they did in the second half. And this time I kind of, gauged it a little better, got my hands up, and then almost had that one.
Let's see the better part of it. Let's see the interception that you had against Nevada now.
The interception, I was just kind of just doing my job. And I just saw the ball, and it kind of just came to me. And, he threw it right to me, so I just caught it.
So I know at practice you work with the jugs machine, right? Quite
Yes,
a
sir.
bit. You want to make sure you get that practice with that. Tell me about using the jug machine and how that gets you better with your hands, because obviously everyone has this whole storyline about how defensive guys, can't catch the ball, whatnot. Right. You have the cast on, so understandably, but take us through that. You're a pretty good receiver too yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I used to play safety back then in high school, and getting the ball has always been a big part of just the game of football in general. So after practice, I usually try to catch around 50 balls a day, even with the cast. Coach CB always tells us there's no excuse. We can't use the cast as an excuse. So any opportunity that comes our way, so we got to take advantage of it. Now,
You talked about high school. You played safety, and then you made that transition to linebacker. Obviously, your alma mater, the Kahuku Red Raiders. Maybe you can give us a tomahawk chop right there. We go. All right, there we go. But there's you with that long hair. Now you have the short hair. But you went from safety, linebacker. How special is it for you to stay home? After going to Kahuku and then coming to the University of Hawaii. Talk us through that.
It's super special. I think playing at home. People like me, local boys. We play with a lot of pride on our back, especially coming from Kahuku. So it's very special for me and my family. My family is able to come to my games. My mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my nephew, and my niece. They're able to support me every game that's at home. So I try to make the most of it every time, obviously. And it's just an honor to play in front of them and play in front of the home fans for sure.
And I dug up some information about Nalu, and not many people know this actually, but Nalu, two-time state, all-state selection, but Nalu Emerson is a member, or was a member, of the National Honor Society. So not only good on the field, but good in the classroom.
Yeah, for sure. Just mainly, back to my parents. They really instilled the, academic values on me and my sibling, my sister. She was a valedictorian, and I, just try to, almost mimic her path in a way, and just, take academics serious and, take the field as serious too. And yeah.
What is your major in college, by the way?
I majored in finance, and then I minored in communication.
So what is your expectation with this degree moving forward? If you continue to play football, I'm sure you still want to play some ball, but after football, what would you like to use that degree for?
There's a lot of, I think, pathways for me, which I'm excited about. I definitely want to make a lot of money, either be a broadcaster of some sort, or maybe deal with some sort of money, some sort of business.
Everyone heard that. Nalu wants to be a broadcaster, so ESPN, KH12, we know where Nalu's going to be after this, possibly with us, doing some color commentating or being an analyst. This is kind of cool, and something that we found out through the grapevines, that you make the trek from the North Shore every day. And, what kind of gives you that motivation to, make that trip? I mean, that's what, an hour and a half every day, down and back, and driving, and, there's got to be a lot of reflection time. There's got to be, time for you to really think. But I mean, that's a lot of driving for you.
Yeah, I mean the commute, you kind of get used to it. You do it every day. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of time where I just get to think about my why and why I do this. What gets me to go every day is just my family really, and just just the love for football that I really have. I just want to come out and just make the most of every opportunity.
And speaking of opportunities, we go back to you transitioning from safety to linebacker. I mean, everybody seems to love playing for Coach Chris Brown, but the lines then, and you see me all the time. Nalu sees me all the time. I'm right there by them because Coach CB always gets you pumped up before games. But talk about playing for a guy like Chris Brown, and you made that transition from safety to linebacker. Not an easy position to play, but you play it at a high level.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. It's mainly Coach CB. He's really the guy that just sets the standard for our whole team. I think the way he carries himself, the way he teaches us in the lines, then just our fundamentals and technique, and just the way he prepares us really is really the product that we get is from him. He prepares us very well. He pushes us very hard. He's really straightforward with us. He doesn't sugarcoat things, and that's definitely what you need as a player, is someone who's going to keep it real. And
as one of the leaders of this defense and playing that linebacker position, how proud of you are you of this team being the number 1 rated defense in the Mountain West Conference and arguably in the top 40 in defense in the country? You must have a lot of pride in that as well.
Oh yeah, lots of pride for sure, but it's just a testament to our work that we put in, collectively as a defense, how our coaches prepare us. Like I said, I think we haven't even really touched the surface of what we can do. I feel like there's levels that we haven't reached yet, and we still got a lot more to prove. So that's what we're carrying on for these next 3 games.
And speaking of that, what's the expectation for the next 3 games for your defense?
Goose eggs for everybody, really. Anybody can get it with our defense, for sure.
And the 9th Island Trophy coming back home this weekend.
Oh, right? Yeah, we need that pineapple, for sure. That's ours.
I hope the best of luck, obviously, for you guys. Keep this defense rolling,
sure.
Nalu, but continued success to you and this defense, and maybe I'll make that drive with you one of these days.
Oh yeah, come on along. I just need some gas money. We're
One
good.
tomahawk chop before we leave for the Kahuku Red Raiders, playing for the OA Championship.
Red Raiders, baby.
For Nalu Emerson, Mark Veneri, this is the Timmy Chang Show.
This is the Timmy Chang Show, Presented by ESPN Honolulu, K-High, and KHON2.
All right, welcome back to the Timmy Chang Show. We just had Nalu Emerson on, and now we've got Cam Stone on the show. Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Awesome stuff. Our next guest, I'm going to go ahead and tell you all about him, is a senior defensive back and has been with the Bows for 2 years after transferring from Wyoming, where he earned conference honors. He's continued to play well, rated the #1 corner in all of FBS by PFF.com. He only has 1 missed tackle. He's got 28 tackles, 21 of those are solo, 3 tackles for loss, 6 pass breakups, an interception, a forced fumble, and a game-sealing blocked PAT. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cam Stone. Again, thank you so much. And the crowd goes wild, just for you. There we go. We've got an applause. Okay, let's get right to it. Let's talk about the block PAT. You were smiling when you saw it earlier in the show.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about that. You came off the edge untouched.
Yeah. So actually, when they first scored in the first quarter on that drive, we lined up and it was a block left and I was on the right side and I seen he didn't put his hand. He really didn't pay attention to me. So just this time around, we had a block right call, and I was really frustrated that they just scored. So I just laid it all out there.
Yeah, that is a fantastic. And you do that all the time, right? Do you guys lay out and jump out on pads in practice?
Not on pads, but we lay out and jump out. Yeah.
I guess you're a little bit tougher than what we used to do, because when we tried to block when I was playing, we'd have to dive onto big soft pads to get you used to diving. I thought it was a fantastic block PAT. It ended up being the difference in the win against Fresno. And then you guys just continued to play well. Just tell me about what you guys are feeling right now, because you guys got to be on a high.
We're feeling good, but we also understand there's a lot more to work on and a lot of things we can polish up, because as you can see, they scored 20 points. It wasn't a polished game by any means from the defense.
You sound like Coach Thurman.
Oh.
I mean, it's no moral victory, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. You started your collegiate career at Wyoming. Yeah. Why did you transfer from beautiful Laramie to these islands? Why'd you do it?
I've told people a lot of things. Ultimately, why I left Wyoming, it just really wasn't my cup of tea in terms of just my surroundings, my area. I didn't feel at home there. So ultimately, that's what led me to get into the portal.
Well, I'm glad you came because this defense is much better with you on it for sure. And I know that you'd say that it's the boys around you and all that. You're gracious in that way. You can continue to see success on the field. What is it about you that allows you to play so well? Why do you play so good?
I would just say my preparation and practice, and just my knowledge. I've been around the game for this is my 5th total season. So I've seen a lot of things. I watched a lot of film on different aspects of the game, so it's allowed me to just have a secondhand nature to it by now. So a lot of things I've seen so often.
You only have 1 missed tackle. That's not easy to do. I mean, it's one thing to have 28 tackles, but to only miss 1 tackle. What do you think that is? Because there were some missed tackles in previous years, not by you, but just in general. That's a difficult stat to contain and to obtain, 1 missed tackle. That might sound negative to some people. That is a huge positive.
Yeah. My tackling just in my college career has not been the best by any means. It was a real focus point for me this offseason, and I stuck to the script of getting better at it, and it's paying off.
Let me ask you this, and I have actually never talked to a defensive player about this. It has gotten more and more difficult to be a defensive back in this day and age in college football with targeting and personal fouls. How difficult is that for you? And because you've kind of grown up into it already. Your college career has seen most of it. It was implemented before you got into college. Has it been difficult to learn to not do the things that we all used to do?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult being a defensive player and just all these new rules enforcing offense or the privilege towards the offense. But you have to adapt. You have to learn these new things, regardless of what they are. You got to do your job. So you have to adapt so you can get that done.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about targeting, it used to be all of this. It used to be all of this. Now it's only right here.
Yeah.
It's 6 inches from the middle of the helmet. That's still pretty hard, though. I mean, but most guys know that you need to just shrug your shoulders, keep your face mask up.
Yeah. You know, actually, that was my way of tackling in those previous years.
Like that?
Yeah, before I focused up on it. It was just throwing my head in there and hoping for the best at times. So, I mean, I had to get out of that considering the new rules and just working on my tackling form in general. But, yeah, it's definitely hard. You know, you got a big, 6 foot, 220-pound running back running at you, and you can't come with your full force like you'd want to. You'd have to, you have to work around it and do the things that you need to do to get them down. But
who do you model your play after?
You know, this is gonna sound crazy. Like, I have favorite players, but I've never just sat down and watched somebody and been like, I want to be him. So I just
do you
soak in.
take from certain players, kind of like to mold yourself after? How does that work?
I definitely watch highlights of guys like Jair, Kenny Moore, guys my size, but it's never like I'm gonna do that. It was just like, okay, that's a good rep. I mean, I can make and learn from that, but I've never just sat and been like, I want to be this person.
Against Nevada, you helped with that win too. You showed me a highlight when you were in Wyoming, but I'd love to see the highlight against Nevada. My brother said you absolutely lit this guy up, and you did. Knock the ball free. This helped towards the win.
Yeah, you know, it was a cover 2-man call, so I was playing underneath. I happened to jump jam my receiver, and he kind of gave up on his route, which gave me the opportunity to just see the rest of the field. So once I noticed the dig, I see he didn't see me, and it was like a full circle moment because in my head I was replaying the clip from Wyoming where I did the same thing, and I just went for it.
I mean, it was perfect timing because he didn't see you. You put your head and your shoulder pads right on the football. It was perfect timing, perfect hit. That's it. Do you work on that kind of stuff in practice? It's hard to work on.
Not necessarily. We definitely work on taking the ball away. Just not like that. But you know, we definitely make an emphasis of getting the ball, turnovers. We need them.
Has this been a difficult season for you so far? I mean, the defense has played well, but there haven't been a lot of wins to show for it. Has this been difficult for you, or are you feeling like you're in a good spot right now, and the rest of the season is yours to take?
I definitely feel like the rest of the season is the team as a whole to take. You know, we are way better than our record, and we're late blooming on some of these things we should have had polished up by the time the season started. And you know, that can be frustrating at times, but you can't really get stuck into that. We got games to play, and we know where we're at now. The defense, we have our identity. We're ready. We're honed in on a lot of things, and it's just polishing some of those things up, and we're ready to go.
How big is this week against UNLV for you guys?
You know, I've only been a part of one other rivalry, which was Wyoming, Colorado State, and that was a big deal, and this is a very big deal.
You've been here long enough to know that the ninth island is the ninth island.
Yeah, I caught on quick. For this rivalry, and you know, it's a very big game. It means a lot to a lot of people on the team, the community. So, you know, it's a very big game, but we also have to treat it like it's another game. You know, we can't get emotionally hijacked out there. You know, we just have to have our head on straight and do what we've been doing. We can't try to just like do something like extraordinary out of our job.
Yeah.
Just do your job and everything will come into place.
111, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let me ask you this. You've been in college playing football for 5 years. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, I 100% I see myself on a roster somewhere making plays.
Yeah. I don't doubt that you'll be on a roster. But before we do that, and before I ask any more questions, you ready for this? Time for a random question with Cam Stone. Okay. Your go-to snack. You were eating a plate lunch when I saw you a little bit earlier before the show. What's your go-to snack?
Man, I would say it's hot Funyuns. I mean, I laid off them for the season.
Hot Funyuns.
Yeah, but those were definitely my go-to snacks.
Have you ever had the wasabi Funyuns?
No.
It's got to be the Flaming Hot.
Yeah,
Funyuns.
yeah.
Those are. What about Flaming Hot Cheetos?
Maybe when I was like younger, but I'm more of the hot Funyun guy. Like that's typically my lane.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Cam Stone. Good luck this week, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great game. We'll be back with more on the Timmy Chang Show.
This is the Timmy Chang Show, presented by ESPN Honolulu, K-High, and KHON2.
Welcome back to the Timmy Chang Show. Really nice to visit with a couple of players, Cam Stone, Nalu Emerson. And to do it all justice, Hawaii has now won 2 in a row, one at home against Nevada and homecoming, and then on the road against Fresno State. But we want to take a look back before we head to game. What is this? Number 10. It's number 10.
Yeah, 10.
Game
10,
number
yeah.
10. Before we go ahead to game number 10, let's take a look back at Hawaii's homecoming win against Nevada.
Game time in Manoa as the University of Hawaii Rainbow Warriors face Nevada. John Veneri here along with Mark Veneri in the booth. This is one that you really need to get. Shager now handing it off to Sims, goes right side. Sims has some room to run. Sims to the 10. Sims spinning off a tackle, now being pushed forward down to the 1 yard line. Shager pushing his way forward. That is a touchdown for Hawaii. Purdy now looking to run it. Purdy in trouble in the backfield, and he goes down. Purdy dropping back, hit as he throws. That ball goes into the turf. He gets it off to Panoke on the slant route. First down and more for Jonah Panoke. Running it himself, gets behind Sims. He's to the 5, diving forward. Braden Shager pushing his way in. Touchdown, Hawaii. In the middle, and Logan Taylor, the senior, makes the stop. To the 50, the 40, the 35, and finally driven out of bounds. Zau's kick is up, and it is good. Shager fakes it, runs to the 2. Shager pushing his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Hawaii. Under pressure and brought down in the backfield. Oh my God, he just lit him up. Shager to the 50, the 40, the 30, the 25, 20. Shager, touchdown, Hawaii. His 4th rushing touchdown. Hawaii wins its homecoming match against Nevada.
It's fun to look back at that, isn't it?
Yeah. It'd
be nice to do it again this week.
It was a good game. Yeah, it was a good game. Old foe, and it seems like a while ago. As we're moving on to the next game with UNLV, it seems like a while ago. And these weeks go by fast. I mean, it's just 2 weeks ago, but it's on to the next, man. It happens fast.
Moving on. You're doing so with Braden Shager as a team captain.
Yeah. I think deservingly so. I mean, he's playing at a high level. We need him to lead, and we believe in him.
Here's a quick question from somebody. It says, with only 3 games left in the season, will we be rotating a few players in who are redshirting this year?
We're going to play the guys that are going to win games. These are all must wins, and so the development is, in my eyes, are done. I want guys around this program that are going to, one can compete in FBS football, and 2 that can win games, because that's what my job's about. It's about winning games.
All right, let's get into UNLV real quick. Looking to defend the home turf in the 9th Island Showdown and bring the Pineapple Trophy home. You guys, their most notable wins. Houston, 27-7. They put up 72 against Utah Tech. They beat Kansas on the road, beat Fresno State 59-14. OT lost to Syracuse, and wins against Utah State and Oregon State before a close loss at home against Boise. They've had a bye week to prepare for this game. Your thoughts?
Yeah, what a great team. Coach Odom got them going and got them going fast. We've had the trophy before Coach Odom got there. We went up there to Allegiant, and they put it on. They put it on us last year, and so good football team. They got good fast, and that's awesome for them. And so really good team, and we got to be on our P's and Q's to win.
Coach, they got the #1 scoring offense in the Mountain West. Tops in rushing offense, near last in passing offense at 10th.
Or passing, yeah.
Yeah, and their quarterback is 3rd in total offense, Hajij Malik Williams, and he can run the football.
Yeah, it's a it's a good football team. You know, they got weapons all over the place. You know, I think for them it starts up front with their offensive line and all the different schemes that they run, zone, pin and pull, you know, power, and they get it going, and then you know there's skill guys from quarterback to running backs to really good receivers. You know, they're really good. I mean, and that's not. I mean, if we're gonna talk about the defense and the special teams as well, they're really good as well, and they play all their players on they play all their stars on special teams, and they play at a high level.
Hawaii's defense is second in rushing defense and first in total defense. This makes a pretty good matchup, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, it's one of those.
Not for a coach, but for fans at least. But
yeah, no, it's a good game. You know, it's going to be a good game. You know, you look at those storylines as a top defense against a top offense in the conference. You know, we play for the Showdown Trophy, the 9th Island Showdown Trophy. You know, it's historically we've had a rivalry in the past, and so it's going to be a good game. I love that it's at home in front of our fans. I love for us to sell out, and it's not about the money for us. I mean, there's other ways that we're going to have to go and fundraise and raise money for this program, but it's about the energy that we need to bring to that field and let the players and the boys feel that, because this is what we're playing for. We're playing for this state, you know, and so we need all that energy. We need that Manoa magic. We need that mana here this weekend, and we need you to be loud, and we need you to be excited and have fun, man, because our stadium's it's a fun venue. You know, it's intimate and it's fun, and the boys feed off of that, and I know they would love a sold-out crowd to have fun with and play against a really good team.
It's fun that you talk about that, Coach, because the home team has won this matchup in 13 of the last 15 years, and you've been calling it on social media. You've been calling it out there with all the press that you do out there. It would mean a lot considering the magnitude moving forward, the implications of what's at stake for this game.
Yeah, it's just it's a good Mountain West showdown. You know, for us, the journey continues. You know, for them, they're looking to find a way back into the Mountain West contending for a championship, and so something's got to give. And then on top of that, we're playing for a rivalry trophy, and so it's home, and we have fun at home. If you guys were back here for our Boise game, that was a fun game. You know, didn't turn out the way we wanted, but that was a fun game. And so we like when we're at home, and we look forward to playing well.
Game time, 4 p.m. at the Clarence T.C. Ching Complex. Countdown to kickoff on ESPN Honolulu begins at 2 p.m., and then Mark and I have all the action on ESPN Honolulu for you, and that's espnhonolulu.com, 1420 a.m. and 92.7 FM, your home for University of Hawaii sports. We will have Coach's final thoughts when we come back. For now, we say aloha to my brother Mark. Until Saturday, you can listen to him and all of his football talk and the entire game with us on Saturday, 4 p.m.
Let's get it.
Yep, there we go.
Let's go.
And don't forget, you can watch the TV broadcast of this on K-High Thursday at 6 p.m. and on KHON2 at 10:35 p.m. on Friday. We'll be right back to close up the Timmy Chang Show.
This is the Timmy Chang Show, presented by ESPN Honolulu, K-High, and KHON2.
All right, final quarter here of the Timmy Chang Show before heading into UNLV on Saturday. Kickoff 4 p.m. at the TC Chang Complex. Coach, real quick, a question. You probably don't want to answer this to the fullest, but I'll let you do whatever you got to do on this one. It says, love the utilization of the tight end, and also seems like you're making more of an effort to get Tylan Hines the ball, especially in the run game. With the emphasis on the run game, do you have plans on implementing more play-action RPO? That's guaranteed somebody from UNLV.
Does he want a job on our staff, or,
right?
or you know, what I mean,
like an analyst?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a great question. Can't answer it, but yeah, that's a good question.
I can't. Of course, he can't give it away. Just your overall thoughts on headed into the Ninth Island Showdown. Just your final thoughts. How about that? So we talked a lot about it.
Yeah, you know, it's I love the state of where our team's at, but it's a growth mindset. It's an elite mindset. We're on a mission, and so is the team that's coming in, and so something's got to give. And so we look forward to the challenge of facing a good team, and here we go at home, ready to roll.
All right. You know, I'm not going to bring the moment down here, but I do want to say, since we've been talking about defense, we've been playing good defense. One guy that played lights out in the early to mid-'90s was defensive back Zach Odom. He happened to be my teammate out of Hawthorne, California, and was a Rainbow from 1991 to 94. Well, he passed away suddenly early this week in Las Vegas, where he lived and worked with his family. And from all of us former Bows, he was a teammate, a friend, a father, a coach, and an all-around stand-up guy. We say aloha to Zach. Rest in love. Yeah. And I know he'll be cheering you on from upstairs because he was a big-time Rainbow and loved the islands and loved being here. And he was a coach and helped a lot of kids out.
Yeah, it's always with grace that we lose some of our brothers. Yeah. You know, one of our uncles, Tuiala, as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Houston and Tui's dad passed away, and I believe services are in Waianae this Saturday.
Saying aloha to all of our former Rainbows, but to all you that are still with us, come on down and cheer out on the University of Hawaii current Rainbows as they take on UNLV this week. Coach, good luck to you. We really appreciate you stopping by and doing all this with us. And one last thing, go Bows.